it's not something you wanted to draw attention to, but at this point, we don't have a choice.
Yeah, and you feel for Jan Nepomuceno.
Yeah.
I know some of the criticism may seem sharp. It may seem like he's not getting the respect that he definitely deserves because he is a phenomenal chess player. He's nearly 2,800. He won a candidates tournament that was really challenging with all other Super Grandmasters, high-level players. But now we have to talk about the moment, the stage he's on, and the way he played today. That's just frankly not world championship caliber game because he handed it to Magnus. And we also have to give the proper credit to Magnus.
Yep.
He put the pressure on. Now it's easy, but he was making Jan's life difficult. He played c4, and all of a sudden, that's when Jan collapsed. So credit to Magnus Carlsen for being ceaseless in his path to victory and just trying to make his opponent's life difficult. But Jan Nepomuceno, he gave a helping hand. He is undoubtedly devastated, and that is hard to watch.
Yep.
Yeah. He understands, of course, where this position is going. He can already consider resignation soon in this game. He's probably reflecting on what went wrong, because after bishop takes c4, we understand that black is under pressure, but also that black must have some way of equalizing this position. Yeah. I think that Magnus in general has, or let's say other players have a top level which is very close to Magnus's level, but Magnus has that consistency, and we see it here. Like on a best day, Jan and Magnus will have a similar level, but Magnus has bad days less often than other players. In his match, he hasn't really, he doesn't have those blackout moments.
Right.
Like we saw here. He might have shaky games, but he always keeps that consistency pretty high, that mean level relatively high.
Yep.
And that makes a difference, at least in this first half of the match. That has made the difference.
Queen on d1, hide the king, and push him, baby.
Black will have to put the queen.
Oh,
okay.
Looks like he's going to a similar square, not exactly the same as d1, but from here, everyone, the idea is the queen guards both c3, g3, and e1. So this check here is met even by something like king to g1, and the point is the queen guards everything.
I like this most of all because the queen also supports a b-pawn push.
Right.
So maybe it's not even the d-pawn which is the most dangerous, but the b-pawn will push, will go ahead, and black has no checks. He can try to create checks, but it's only for one move.
Right.
He'll create one check, and then white's king will hide again. So he'll probably play queen to e4 after king g1. White will start pushing the b-pawn, and queen to b1 is met by the king hiding on h2 again.
And to your point that even if the queen for black attacks the d5 square, white could still play d5.
Yep.
Because if the black queen takes it, then queen c4 forces the queen trade. White easily wins with the extra pawn in the king and pawn ending because black will be distracted, the pawn will be a decoy on the queen side, and white's king will mop up on the king side. So yeah, there's no way to stop all of white's plans, and it seems that queen f4 is one check, you're not even getting another.
The only thing is don't play queen c4 first.
Yeah, don't play queen c4.
Because that would actually allow
the dark square perpetuals back in the game.
White would have to play queen f1 and lose one of those pawns and potentially...
Well, king h7 was actually played by Jan to avoid those types of lines where Magnus just sacrifices either pawn, but heading into any king and pawn ending, if you imagine the queen's off the board, easily winning because this king has to come over and white mops up everything here. So,
but the b pawn is the one that runs now. b4 and b5 next if black does nothing.
Yep.
And if black plays queen e4 to play b5, queen to b1 check, well, white has various ways, of course, of slowly pushing those pawns up because, let's say queen to e4, I can play queen to d2 now. Now I want to push the d pawn up. Both of those pawns are going up the board. Queen to d5,
here, but then I give check,
queen d3, and now b5.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely, white
it gets surgical from this point.
Marches up the board.
Yep.
Kind of like the queen on d1 better.
I did like the queen on d1 better.
That position that we were looking at, h takes g2.
Like now played that on the board.
Yeah.
And
there it is.
Have resignation. Magnus Carlsen takes game 8.